still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for nearly 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
We welcome you back as we are set for first pitch of game number 2, as it is the quick end of game 1 to start game number 2 as we are getting ready for our first pitch. Ian Beer is on the mound, and he is getting his warm-up tosses in to start us off in a game 2 of our doubleheader. He will go against Will Danberg, who will be on the mound for the first time here this season as well, and we're just about set for first pitch of our second game as we'll go through the starting lineups here for the Pierre Governors, as it'll be Carter Shufflebine to lead things off. He will bat first and play second. Trevor Rounds, the center fielder, will bat second. Charlie Simpson will bat third to be the catcher. Dawson Getz, the shortstop, will bat fourth in the cleanup spot. Ridge Lineback, the left fielder, batting fifth. J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, will bat sixth. Sutton Sonnenschein, the right fielder, batting seventh. Bridger Babcock will be the DH, batting eighth, and Parker O'Brien, the third baseman, will bat ninth. So just one addition, one difference in the for this Governor lineup from game number 1, and that is Bridger Babcock inserted in the lineup. Will Danberg, who started in the lineup, he will be pitching. He will be DH for by Bridger Babcock. So Ian Beer will be the first man, will be the first pitcher for the Stevens Raiders in game number 2. He had 3 starts, 7 appearances overall last season, 18 and a third innings. He went 0-1 with 2 saves, 23 hits, 15 runs, 12 earned runs, 13 walks, 20 strikeouts, 4.582 ERA and a 1.96 whip, and a batting average against that 295 for Ian Beer. Carter Shufflebine will step to the plate and get us started here in our second game, as we're ready to go for game number 2, as we will be just about 25 minutes from the end of game 1 to the start of game number 2. A quick movement into our second game. Shufflebine steps to the plate. We are ready to go for our second game of our doubleheader, as the first pitch from Ian Beer will come into Shufflebine, and he will look at it for strike 1 as we are underway here at 7:57 local time. After a 2.5-hour first game, it is as we close in at 9 o'clock for our second game getting underway. The count's now 1-1 here to Shufflebine. Shufflebine in game number 1 went 0 for 4. 2 groundouts, 2 strikeouts in that leadoff spot. Looking to reach base for the first time here in the spring season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll be catching the outside edge, top of the zone, and the count's now 1-2. Go around the horn defensively here in just a moment for this Stevens Raiders team, which kind of looks similar. Both these teams look pretty similar, obviously moving different pieces around from their game one start. And this will be a ground ball to the left side. This will be fielding the shorts by the shortstop in the hole. Long throw to first is not in time, and a leadoff single for Carter Scheffelbein. That was a deep into the hole for Blake Olmstad to field. He did field and made that play close, but Scheffelbein is able to get a leadoff single, and the second baseman is on to kick off game number 2. We waited 0 batters, the first batter to get our first hits of game number 2. After we had to go to the 4th inning for our first hit in game 1, Trevor Rounds will step to the plate. Runner on at first and nobody out. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. 0 for 2 game number 1 for Rounds. First pitch will be at the top of the zone, missing high for ball 1. It was an impressive stop in the hole for Olmstad. I mean, really, that shouldn't have been a close play, and that's credit to what Olmstad was able to do. There's a half swing from Rounds. He got sawed off there and swung and missed it. And a 1-1 count here to Trevor Rounds. The 1-1 pitch. There's another attempted swing by Rounds. He has not looked good in this at-bat, and it's now counts now 1-2, but it does take just one good swing to get a good base hit. You'd like to have those first 2 pitches or the last 2 pitches and swings and misses back. Then swing hard on the first one and barely end up swinging around the second one. Runner takes off. That'll be taken for strike 3 to throw to second. Scheffelbein will slide in safely, but it is a strikeout of Scheffelbein getting to second. And there's one down to bring up Charlie Simpson. That's the 3rd time that Rounds has been punched out here in this doubleheader. Second baseman and Waddell did a good job of fielding it, just couldn't get the tag over applied in time. Scheffelbein had a pretty good jump on the pitcher, Pierre. So around the horn defensively, it is Tegan Smith out in left, Ethan Wilson in center, Caden Camparetto, the right fielder. At third, it is Will Waddell, who is being DH for. At short, Blake Olmstad. Second baseman is Brady Waddell. Mason Brooks at first. And Morgan De La Pena is behind the plate for the second straight game. At least start out the second straight game. One down, runner on at first. To make that second, as the first pitch will be upstairs for ball 1 to the number 3 hitter and Charlie Simpson, the catcher. Simpson went 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. He had a sacrifice bunt and also walked in game number 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll get to the backstop. A wild pitch that will move Scheffelbein over to third. And that's now a 2-0 count and 90 feet away for the Govs to pick up the early lead again here in game number 2.
Pitch gets to the backstop.
You are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, just past 9 o'clock Central Time. Back in the capital city. Jim Brazilius in the studios with us this evening. John Wickler here with you in Rapid City. After a 6-4 Game 1 win for Pierre, they open up here at the top of the first. Runner on at third and 1 away, and a 3-0 count now here to Simpson with Dawson Getz on deck. Pierre's looking for an early first inning lead. They did lead 1-0 in that top of the first in game 1, but didn't retake the lead until the 6th, as that'll miss for a 4-pitch walk to Simpson. Is now first and third with 1 away, and it's now Dawson Getz. They get a courtesy run. Nope, they will have Charlie Simpson run for himself. And Will Danberg is being being hit for. Bridger Babcock is the DH for Will Danberg. So Dawson Getz will step to the plate. Early RBI opportunity here in the first inning. First pitch is over for strike 1. Getz in game number 1 had the RBI double that tied the game in the top of the 6th as he went 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts, and also reached on an error. That'll miss high, and the count's 1-1. On deck would be Rich Leimbach. That would be assuming that there is no double play turn. That will hit Getz up near the helmet area. And the bases are now loaded here with only 1 out. And Rich Leimbach will come to the plate. So a single, a walk, and a hit batter has loaded the bases here with only 1 out in the top of the 1st, and early trouble here for Ian Beer. And the Govs got to take advantage. Big spot, big opportunity for them to put up a crooked number here in the 1st inning. Leimbach will await the first pitch as Beer will go back to work from the windup. First pitch is grounded down the first base line, and it is a foul ball. And Coach Prunty can't believe that it's a foul ball.
Hard shot down the line.
He thought it was right over the bag, but it will be a foul ball for Leimbach, and it's 0-1. That was at least 2 runs scoring, if not the bases clearing hit for Leimbach. That would have made a 3-0 game. And Getz was almost all the way over to third base. Been a tough play for the right fielder to go get, and the speed of Getz probably would have scored if that had been fair. Here's the 0-1. There was grounded right back up the middle. That's going to get through. That's a diving play by Olmstead to make the play to get the runner out at second.
Great diving play
And eliminate multiple run hit for a Rich Leimbach. Ends up being just 1 run to score, but a big play, 6-4 on the fielder's choice. And an RBI for Leimbach that makes it a 1-0 game. But it could have been a lot worse if Olmstead does not dive to make that play. Scheffelbein scores. Simpson's over to third and gets out at second. It's now J.J. Buckles that will try and make this a crooked number here in the top of the 1st inning. First pitch swinging. He'll foul that one back, and the count's 0-1.
J.J. Buckles.
Buckles in game number 1 went 0 for 3. 2 ground outs, a strikeout, and he drew a walk. That'll miss high and away, and the count's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Buckles. That'll catch the top of the zone. The count's now 1-2.
Breaking ball in there.
And Buckles, a lot to going to be battling up here. Down the count with 2 outs, runners at the corners. 1-2 pitch. Runner takes off for second. There will be no throw, and standing up is Leimbach at second. And so now a stolen base for Leimbach makes it a 2-2 count, and a base hit could make this a 3-0 lead for the Governors. They get the ball through the infield here. Olmstead with that diving play. What could be a 2-0 lead was still only 1 out. Instead, it's 1-0 with 2 away and 1 strike away from getting out with very limited damage. And they will do just that. Buckles swings and misses and strikes out. A run does score on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. After the top of the 1st, a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra. Growing together for generations.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 AM or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First and Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
We welcome you back. It is the bottom of the first and a 1-0 lead in the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard for Pierre Governors as the Stevens Raiders will come to the plate. Ian Beer will lead things off. He's the pitcher. And then Mason Brooks, the first baseman, batting second. Jackson Dye will be the DH, batting third. Blake Olmstead, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Ethan Wilson, the center fielder, batting fifth. Tegan Smith, the left fielder, will bat sixth. Brady Waddell, the second baseman, batting seventh. Caden Comparetto, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Morgan De La Pena, the catcher, will bat ninth for the Raiders. And they will go against Will Danberg, who is making his first start, obviously making his first start on the mound. And for Danberg, he did throw 10 1/3 innings last year in 2 starts, 5 appearances overall. And in those 5 appearances, he went 1-1, 18 hits, 13 runs, 10 of them earned, 8 walks, 15 strikeouts, 6.77 ERA, and a 2.51 whip for Will Danberg, as the righty will be the man that they call upon in Game 2 of our doubleheader. And again, they will have everybody available next week, Friday. Pitching-wise, obviously, Ridge Lineback has a 4-day wait. Dawson Getz with only a couple of 30 pitches. I mean, yes, they would not be available to pitch tomorrow, but there is no games tomorrow. This is the only one for the weekend. And next week, Friday, is the next game, so they will be able to play or be able to pitch whoever they want to, and then they don't play again to the following weekend. So the strategy isn't quite there. They were looking at that going into the weekend until those games got canceled on Saturday. This one will be fouled out of play on the right side, and the count's 0-1 here to Ian Beer. But the strategy for pitching for this Governor team doesn't have to come into play until they go to the border battle in North Dakota, and then even then, your strategy is still just 2 games, because those North Dakota games, while you want to win them, the important ones to win are the South Dakota games. So you'll line up your pitching for those 2 games and kind of work your way around this. We'll see that in the Veterans Class. We talk about that at Dakota Classic a lot for post-state baseball. Most seasons, there's not a lot of out-of-state games that Pierre has during the high school baseball season. The count's 2-1. A little bit more and so for post-states. 2-1 pitch will miss upstairs. It's now 3-1 here to Beer, the leadoff man. But that gives you a little bit more flexibility when you're only over that weekend. You're only looking for 2 games. As this will be grounded to the third base side. That'll be fielded by Parker O'Brien. Quick throw to first is in time. And O'Brien makes another nice play over the hot corner. Leadoff man is retired to kick off the bottom of the first inning. And now here is Mason Brooks, the first baseman. Brooks in game number 1 went 1 for 3. He had one of those 3 hits for Stevens. Tegan Smith and Austin Floor, who is not in the starting lineup for Floor, but Tegan Smith had the other hit that is in the starting lineup for game number 2. As Brooks waits on the first pitch from Will Danberg, who will take it for strike 1. First games are in the books for NCAA tournament tonight. Michigan State beat Ole Miss by 3, and Tennessee held off Kentucky 78-65. The count's 1-1. So they've just started Auburn and Michigan. So they look like to be at the first TV timeouts. Houston and Purdue will be playing in that second game as well. There's a check swing, but a full swing, that says umpire. Maybe more of a called strike, but either way, it's now 1-2 to Mason Brooks, the first baseman. So if possible, we hope that we'd be able to get to the finale of that game between Houston and Purdue, or maybe even seeing the end of Auburn or hearing the end of Auburn and Michigan. That one will be upstairs, and the count's 2-2. We'll have full, complete coverage of the Elite Eight tomorrow, starting at 4 o'clock. And then at noon on Sunday for coverage of the NCAA tournament. This is flown out towards left center field. Rounds will get to the gap. He'll make the catch. And Trevor Rounds, with a good jump on that ball, is able to track it down in the gap. And there's 2 down now here in the bottom of the first, and it brings up Jackson Dow, the DH. Playing in a good spot was Rounds, but Wynn maybe held it up a little bit more, maybe pushed it farther back, but still held it up. And Rounds was able to track it down. Good speed there from Rounds. He's shading off to play Jackson Dow to pull as there's 2 down and nobody on here in the bottom of the first as the first pitch is over for strike 1. So Danberg has got ahead of all 3 hitters here in this first inning. What you want to see, not always be every single pitch in the strike zone, but you want to live around the strike zone and get ahead of hitters. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Makes life that much easier for you as a pitcher. Ridge Leinbach in that first inning did not do that, but as the game progressed in the second, third, and fourth was much, much better. And you saw the success then that Leinbach had when he was able to start ahead of hitters and not have to work from a 2-0 count, trying to get all the way back. Here's a swing and a miss by Dial. The count's now 1-2, and Danberg looking for a 1-2-3 first inning. Jackson Dial went 0 for 3. Drew a walk in that first inning. That one will be high and inside. The count's now 2-2. Flew out twice and struck out looking. That was a big strikeout by Dawson Getz in the bottom of the 7th. First and second, nobody out. You had 3, 4, and 5, and you get those guys all in order to end the game, starting with a strikeout, a backwards K for the strikeout. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That would be a foul tip by Dial. Just barely stays alive, just got a piece of it. And it remains at a 2-2 count. With 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Here is the 2-2. That comes high and inside. That's off the glove of Simpson. The count's now 3-2. Rich Leinbach is out in left. Trevor Rounds in center, and Sutton Sunshine in right. Parker O'Brien at third, who made that first play in the bottom of the first inning. Dawson Getz at short. Carter Shufflebein at second. J.J. Buchholz at first. Charlie Simpson behind the plate. Danberg delivers the payoff pitch. This is popped foul. That'll get out of play.
Fouls the payoff pitch out of play. He'll see
And it remains at a 3-2 count. Here to Jackson Dial. This will be pitch number 18 of the first inning here for Will Danberg. 21 pitches for Ian Beer. He dealt with the first 6 hitters and only threw 21 pitches. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Will Danberg will get a 1-2-3 inning.
swing and a miss, strike 3.
1-0 lead at the end of the first inning for the Pierre Governors over the Stevens Raiders. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're in town for the big game, why not stay where the view is just as great as the action? American in Fort Pierce sits right on the river, offering beautiful scenery, relaxing comfort, and easy access to the ballpark. After a day at the Diamond, there's nothing better than unwinding by the water, and the American always hits it out of the park. Stay by the river. Stay in comfort. Call 605-223-2358 to book your room today. American, where the river meets relaxation. Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
It is the top of the second and a 1-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard for the Governors, who will have 7, 8, 9. Sutton Sunshine, Bridger Babcock, and Parker O'Brien. He might reach his base, and it'll go back to the top of the order for Shufflebein. 1 run on that 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on base for the Govs in that first inning. And a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Will Danberg, who still threw 18 pitches in that first inning, which isn't bad, but you look at 21 pitches for Ian Beer. and he faced three more guys, and he only threw three more pitches. So he was, I wouldn't say more efficient, but he hit a man and didn't give a walk and a base hit. He didn't have two strikeouts in there, but Danberg had to work through more counts against each of those three hitters. But it is 1-0 here for Pierre. And again, it will be next Friday, or it will be our next broadcast. A 5 o'clock first pitch, 4:45 around there with coverage, and a 5 o'clock first pitch between Pierre and Harrisburg.
Number 3, Sutton.
Dylan Simmons will have the call of that one for you out in Harrisburg. Sutton Sunshine will lead things off here at the top of the second. Sunshine out of the 7-hole in game number 1 went 1 for 2 with a walk, single, and a strikeout. And first pitch will miss low for ball 1 here to Sunshine. A little bit speed, and just like as any high school season is, we see more spacing between games. Once that Legion season gets rolling in the summertime, that's when games kind of pick up a little bit more, but more weekend games for the high school baseball team. Counts 1-1 here to Sutton Sunshine. That'll miss high and outside, and the count's now 2-1. And just 2 years removed, 2 years ago, it was a state championship win for the Governors. They're one and only in team history. 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. They've struggled to get back to the state tournament over the course of the last several years. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's upstairs, and the count's now 3-2. They made the state tournament to the Final Four and to win the state championship back in 2023, but those other years they've fallen a game short just about every time. There's one year where they lost the 8-9 matchup. That'll be a 3-2 miss, and it's a leadoff walk to Sutton Sunshine. And now here is Bridger Babcock that will step to the plate. This will be his first high school baseball at-bats, but he did get plenty of at-bats during the summertime with Post State. As he ended up hitting .211 with the Eights last summer, and 8 hits, 3 runs driven in for the now junior. The first pitch is over for strike 1 to Babcock. Is DHing here in game 2 of our doubleheader. Here's the 0-1. That'll be outside, and the count's now 1-1 here to Babcock. Last year, the Govs were able to sweep Yankton at the end of the season, and then immediately turn around and played them again back in Pierre. Won that first game, lost in a walk-off in the second game, and wheels fell off in game 3 and ended up being eliminated just one game short of making the state tournament, which that was the first year of that format of a best-of-3 series to make the state tournament. It had been single elimination for so many years, and they were playing regions of 4-team regions and a single elimination format to get to the state tournament, which turned into a overall 16-team tournament, as it counts now 2-2 here to Bridger Babcock. When there was no second chances at all until last year, when you could go best of 3, and then it was a single elimination 8-team state tournament. That one will miss high and outside. The count's now 3-2. Stevens was able to beat Rapid City Central to make the state tournament last year, but ended up losing in the first round. But went 20-6 overall in their best finish in their team history. 3-2 pitch is fouled back by Babcock. Well, he'll stay alive. The 3-2 count. The lefty digs back in. His first at-bat for the high school baseball team. 3-2. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The throw to second will skip up past the shortstop Olmstad, but it was caught by the second baseman Waddell. So it's a strikeout and another steal for the Governors.
Parker O'Brien.
As Parker O'Brien will come to the plate. Trevor Round struck out looking in the top of the first inning. As Shufflebein stole second.
We have a pinch runner entering the game for Sunshine.
So runner on at second here with one out here in the top of the second inning. First pitch is over for strike one to Parker O'Brien, who had an RBI hit. He had the first RBI for the Governors. A single that scored sudden sun and shine that made it a 3-2 game at the time. Pulled the Govs within one and ended up scoring those 4 runs in that next inning. That'll miss low and a check swing, and the count's 1-1 here to O'Brien. 1-1 count with the runner on at second. One away here in the top of the second. The pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count's now 1-2. One-two count here to Parker O'Brien. Trying to score that runner from second. The leadoff walk to sudden sun and shine. Here is the 1-2. That'll miss low, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to O'Brien. Top of the order
2 strikes.
will be due up next and for Carter Shufflebein and Trevor Rounds. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball is dropped, so the runner will take off to third. The throw to first will still retire O'Brien.
Drop third strike.
But it is now a runner on at third with 2 outs.
From second to third.
And it brings up Shufflebein with a chance to make this a 2-0 lead. They do complete the strikeout,
10, Carter.
2-3.
Shufflebein.
And so now here is Shufflebein, who singled to open up, infield single to open up the ball game. Here's the first pitch to Shufflebein. That'll miss low for ball 1. Runner on at third with 2 away, excuse me. That was a ground ball that will be foul down the third base line, and
Foul ball.
counts now 1-1.
1 strike.
I believe Weston Northrup is running for sudden sun and shine. As he leads away from third. Here is the 1-1 pitch. That'll be over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2 here to Shufflebein. This is the top of the order for the Govs. Ian Beer working from the windup. Be his 43rd pitch of the evening. 1-2. That'll bounce in. It'll get away from the catcher. And coming in to score will be Northrup to make it a 2-0 game.
Run scores on the pass ball.
And it counts now 2-2, but a wild pitch
2 balls.
makes it a 2-0 lead for Pierre here in the top of the second. So a run is scored in each of the 2 innings. And the Lineback does have an RBI. Another RBI-less run to score. So the bases are now empty here with the 2 outs and a 2-2 pitch to Shufflebein. Goes to the top of Shufflebein, misses for ball 3, and the count is full at 3-2 as Trevor Rounds waits on deck. 3-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3. Shufflebine couldn't pull the trigger. 3 strikeouts in the inning, but there is a run on no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. 2-0 lead for Pierre at the end of an inning and a half. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years. Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Bottom of the second, 2-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard for this Pierre Governor team. 4, 5, and 6 for Stevens. Blake Olmstead, Ethan Wilson, and Tegan Smith. He might reach his base. He'll then go to Brady Waddell. As Will Danberg's got another insurance runner. Has, I guess, maybe his first insurance run. With the 1-0 lead to now a 2-0 advantage on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Baseball in full swing. Opening day was yesterday. For most of those teams, you had teams like the Dodgers and the Cubs who had already played a couple games. But there's still teams that are in action. Tampa Bay Rays won with a walk-off home run earlier this afternoon over the Colorado Rockies. Miami had the first walk-off win. It was not a home run, but it was a hit to win the game. Here's the first pitch to Blake Olmstead. He'll swing and pop that one up right side. Can Buckles make the play over at first? And he he slipped and fell. And it'll be strike 1 instead. And the Buckles end up getting lost behind the first base dugout, so he couldn't see exactly how close he was to making that catch, but I think he thought it was going to go farther towards the fence and misjudged where that ball was going to go, trying to find the fence, trying to locate where the ball's at, end up just not making the catch. So the count's 0-1 here to Olmstead. There's a fly ball to right field. That'll be easily handled by the right fielder. And Weston Northrup to make the catch. And there's one down, or maybe Sunshine's back out there and right. So we're really far away from the game, which makes it much harder to see everything happening. You get the grandstand below us, and then a lot of walking room before we even get to the press box here at McKeague Field. The first pitch is over for strike 1 here to Ethan Wilson. The 0-1. That'll miss low, and the count's now 1-1. Here to the Stevens center fielder. Looks like Sun and Shine actually behind the plate. Simpson's out in right field. The count's now 2-1. Everything else is still the same. That might have been an adjustment from the lineup that we had gotten as it counts 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Wilson.
Now here to Ethan Wilson. So that would be why Weston Northrop was running for Sun and Shine, and not in a pinch running variety. It was in the courtesy running variety. 2-2 pitch will miss low and away, and the count's now 3-2. 3-2 pitch here from Danberg to Wilson. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Danberg, second one, as he's retired the first 5 in order. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. And it's now Tegan Smith, the left fielder, to come to the plate. Tegan Smith had one of those 3 hits. He doubled, and one of the 2 extra base hits in total of that game between the 2 teams. Dawson Getz had the other double. As we had just 7 hits combined, but 10 runs on those 7 hits combined. This will be flown out towards left field. That will fall foul. And another first pitch strike for Will Danberg. He's looking to retire in order the second inning. On 1 the count here to Smith. The 0-1 pitch from Danberg. A miss outside, and the count is now even at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1 from Danberg. That's going to just miss inside, and the count goes now 2-1. This will be the 30th pitch now of the day for Danberg. He has retired the first 5 in order. 2-1. Swing and a miss. It's now 2-2 as Danberg is again looking for a 1-2-3 inning for the second straight inning. Govs will have 2, 3, and 4 due up to start the top of the third. Here's the 2-2 from Danberg. That was lined right back up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit, and that will be the first base runner for the Stevens Raiders here in the ball game, and a 2-out single extends the inning out to now Brady Waddell.
Number 9, Brady Waddell.
Brady Waddell had 1 at-bat. He went 0 for 1, flew out to the left fielder line back in game number 1, which that came in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now Waddell will have his second at-bat or second plate appearance. First pitch will be taken just outside for ball 1. Temperature still falling as the night goes along. 47 degrees, feels like 39 out there. So it's getting a little bit chillier and chillier as the evening goes along. Here's the 1-0. That one is on the outside edge and taken for a strike. That counts even at a ball and a strike. High of 67 in Rapid City today, but now we've gotten down to 47. We'll have a high of just 39 tomorrow. 1-1 pitch is flown out of play on the right side. And the count's now 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Waddell.
Again, Danberg trying to get through this second inning unscathed. Keep this Governor lead at 2-0 going to the third. And he works from the stretch for the first time here tonight. Here's the 1-2. That was a little chopper in front of the plate. It'll be picked up by the catcher, Sunshine. His throw to first will be in time to retire the side. That was a great play by Sunshine, who avoided also his pitcher Danberg to end the inning, as there are no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the third, a 2-0 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking, with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello.
Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
It is the top of the third, and a 2-0 lead of the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard for the Pierre Governors. And it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Trevor Rounds, Charlie Simpson, Dawson Getz. Anybody reaches base, it'll then go to Rich Leinbach. As Ian Beer is trying to settle into this game, but has given up a run in each of the 2 innings. Just 1 hit so far allowed in those 2 innings, along with also a hit for the Stevens Raiders. As we are into this top of the third and opening day, chilly opening day, and again tomorrow's games, they were canceled Wednesday for Saturday because of the threat of precip, but also those cold temperatures they're talking about falling to 31 in Sturgis by 11 a.m. So that's not really conducive for baseball weather, and we've seen games, even with dry conditions, have been postponed or canceled when they get to that point and the temperature gets to that point. So not even going to bother with tomorrow and allow everybody to, we'll travel back tonight, not have to worry so much about the roads, as the first pitch will be upstairs for ball 1. Not have to worry about the roads tomorrow and what they could be depending on how the weather comes through the area. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Trevor Rounds. He'll swing and foul that one out of play. And the count's now 1-1. Rounds struck out looking his first at bat as he waits on the 1-1 pitch. This will be chopped off the plate in front for the catcher, who didn't even get rid of the mask. The throw was low, and it will not be able to be scooped out by Mason Brooks. As De La Pena came out from the crouch to make the play, but ends up throwing it low, and it'll be a leadoff man on base for Pierre.
Bouncer out front of the plate. Runner will reach safely on
And it's
2 and bring up
now for Charlie Simpson.
21, Simpson.
So an air charge to De La Pena. Get a new baseball here to Ian Beer. It was right off the plate. You could hear it hit squarely off the plate. It is Charlie Simpson that will come to the plate here with nobody out. Runner on at first. This will get off the glove of De La Pena. The second base will go Rounds. And already a man in score position here with nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Not how you're looking to start this third for if you're Stevens. Simpson drew a walk in his first trip to the plate. He was stranded at third base. That'll be over for a strike. The count's now 1-1. Simpson looking for maybe his first RBI of the season. Also be looking for his first hit of the year. Time will be called, and out to talk will be De La Pena with his pitcher and Ian Beer. Again, if possible, we will have coverage of the NCAA tournament as they are underway in all of those games right now, both those games. They're closing on the end of the first half for Michigan and Auburn, but Purdue and Houston might be a chance to catch the end of that one on KCCR. That one will be upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. Michigan State and Tennessee have punched their tickets to the Elite Eights, and we'll get down to the Final Four after Sunday, but we'll start getting those first 2 Final Four teams in tomorrow. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. Pierre Governor track and field team, they'll be in action tomorrow. Tennis team has been out here in Rapid City, open up their season. Pierre softball, they will be in action on Tuesday, home opener, against Aberdeen Central, I believe. There's a pitch that is taken for strike 3 on a curveball that drops in and finds the edge of the plate, and Simpson goes down on strikes for the first out, and it's now Dawson Getz with a runner on at second and 1 away. So those spring sports are well into play, are getting into play after this next week. First pitch is over for strike 1. Here to Dawson Getz. One out, runner on at second. A quick pitch that will miss low and away for Ian Beer. He's going to be careful that he doesn't go too fast and end up get called for a balk. Did see a one balk that was called in the first game that scored the first run for Pierre. Rounds, who's on at second, he was the one that did score. Small attempt of a pickoff. No one was covering the base, so just looked the runner back to second, did Beer. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll come inside, and the count's now 2-1 here to Getz.
1 strike. Correction, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Hit by a pitch in the first inning for Getz. Was retired on the diving play on the fielder's choice. Ridge Leinbach went up the middle, and great defensive play from Olmstead. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. Going back is a center fielder, and he will make the catch up against the fence for Wilson. Rounding third is Rounds. He's going to try and score from second. The throw is not going to be in time. The time he gets to the plates. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Dawson Getz to score the run. And so Getz, that's an RBI for him. That's technically a sac fly. And so Rounds scores from second to make it a 3-0 lead with now 2 outs here in the top of the third. End up trying to be a double cut. And Brooks didn't catch it cleanly and would never get a chance to throw to the plate anyway. Speed of Rounds, he even slowed up at third, and he couldn't believe that Coach Rowley was going to send him. But he scored without a play. Here's Rich Leinbach as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. And there's 2 down here in the top of the third inning. But another run is scored, another run in an inning for the Governors. They've scored 1 in each of the 3 so far and lead 3-0 over Stevens. There's a foul ball out of play on the right side by Leinbach, and the count's now 1-1. 3-0 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the third. Leinbach reached on a fielder's choice, got an RBI to make it 1-0. Here's the 1-1 from Beer. Leinbach will golf that one foul over on the left side. And the count's now 1-2. That was really low and in, but Leinbach was able to turn on that one still. So the count's 1-2. 1-2 pitch. That'll bounce its way to the backstop, and the count goes to now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Be 8-9-1 for Stevens in the bottom of the third inning. Will Danberg with 35 pitches through 2 full innings. 61 pitches right now for Ian Beer, trying to get through the third with pitch number 62. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That'll be outside as well again, and the count's now 3-2. Here to the number 4-man, 5-man in the order in Ridge Leinbach. J.J. Buckles waits on deck. Full count to Ridge Leinbach. Here is the 3-2. That one is fouled back to the screen, and the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Leinbach. Try to extend the inning out. Allow J.J. Buckles to come to the plates. 3-2. That one is ripped foul again.
Stays alive. alive again, fouls another one off.
As it rolls its way over to the first base coaching box. Our Coach Prunty will toss it away, toss it back to the first base dugout, the Stevens Raiders. And we'll have another mound visit here from De La Pena to Ian Beer. I'm not sure if Beer's having trouble seeing the signs. They've ended up, Beer's, I wouldn't say he's been slow to the play, but it looks like he's waited a long time to say yes or no on what pitch he wants to throw. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This will be fouled out of play again on the right side. And Ridge Linebach continues to work a long count. It'll be pitch number 66 of the day for Ian Beer. And I think that he's kind of closing in on the end of his day. 3-2 again here to Linebach. Another foul ball. Linebach stays alive again. Good battle here between these two guys. 3 runs on just 1 hit still so far for the Governors. This run was an unearned run reaching on an error, but it's still an RBI for Dawson Getz. 3-2 another time. Another foul ball by Linebach.
Another one. That's the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Come on, Raiders fans. Let's cheer on Ian Beer.
So this will be a pitch number 11 coming up. Another full count pitch from Beer to Linebach. Wheels and deals. Swing and a miss. It takes 11 pitches to finally strike out Linebach, and that will end the inning. But a run scores without a hit, 1 error, and no one left on base. We have played 2.5 innings and a 3-0 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
It is the bottom of the third and a 3-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard. For Pierre, 8-9-1 for the Stevens Raiders. Caden Camparetto, Morgan De La Pena, and Ian Beer, the first 3 hitters for the Raiders. As we continue opening day for the Pierre Governors, both these teams having their first games of the season. And it will be the only games of the weekend for both these teams. No games tomorrow. And the weather coming in, the temperatures, all of that factor into not having any games tomorrow. Harrisburg will be the location next Friday with a 5 o'clock start of that doubleheader. On the other side of the state, and yes, at 5 and 7 o'clock starts, just kind of like it was here locally, just not out back home for the capital city. But Dylan Simmons will have the call of that doubleheader for you on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This will be fouled out of play on the left side for strike 1 here to Caden Camparetto, who went 0 for 1 and ground out to the first baseman, J.J. Buchholz, in game number 1 in his only at-bats. Morgan De La Pena waits on deck and then back to the top of the order. That'll catch the outside edge of the plate, and the count's now 0-2 here to the Stevens right fielder. Some action in the right field bullpen right now for the Raiders, although More so playing catch than anything else. 0-2 pitch. That one just misses outside. That's a really good pitch there from Danberg, and Caparotto didn't chase. There wasn't much room to miss. With that location, that was a really good spot from Danberg. 1-2, there's a swing and a miss, strikeouts. Third strikeout of the ball game now for Danberg. And now it's Morgan De La Pena that will come to the plate. De La Pena in that first game went 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded that got an RBI that made it 3-1. But then he struck out looking in his only official at-bat. Number 9 man in the batting order. First pitch will miss outside for ball 1. Here to De La Pena. So on deck is Ian Beer, the pitcher and the leadoff man. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. Well, Danberg has been around the strike zone a lot so far in this game, and that's the story of Will Danberg. He's not going to miss very often. He's going to throw strikes and throw a lot of strikes. This will be popped up. Foul. That'll get out of play. And the count's now 1-2. 1-2 counts to the Stevens catcher, De La Pena. Strikeout in each inning so far now for Will Danberg. Here's the 1-2. There's a line shot into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. And a one-out single for De La Pena. And there's one on and one out for the top of the order and Ian Beer. A courtesy runner for the catcher, De La Pena, so we get the gear back on. But Beer is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the third baseman, O'Brien, in his first at-bat to open up the bottom of the first inning. So it's back to the top of the order. A little bit of activity out in the left field bullpen for the Governors. Here's the first pitch. Danberg will miss outside for ball 1. Not sure who that is warming up. They got a hoodie on as well, so hard to tell exactly who it might be. Here's the 1-0. Instead, stepping off and looking the runner back to first base was Danberg. Looking for a ground ball to get you out of the inning. Get you through 3 shutout innings. Here is the 1-0 from Danberg. Runner was taking off, and he fouled it off. Beer did foul it off his leg. And the count's now 1-1. That does not feel good. Doesn't feel good usually at any point, but it definitely doesn't feel good when it feels like it's under 40 degrees outside. A couple of foul balls. One foul ball make its way back into play, and Beer will walk it off. That one got it right off the toe. Hey, he's still struggling to feel better about getting hit in the foot. Boy, he's a little bit more concerning about this than what usually meets the eye. But they will check on him to make sure that he is okay. He's trying to walk it out. Maybe he's got a little bit more of a cramp than being hit by the ball. He's struggling to put any weight on the front part of his foot. Maybe he is cramping. Seems to be he's holding his toe up like he'd be cramping right now. And the only other factor is when it's 90 degrees outside, you drink a lot of water. When it's 40 degrees, you don't feel like you need to drink as much water, but we will, as Beer will continue to run it off It does seem to be a lot better moving now, and so I think he's now in a better spot. So he'll step back into the batter's box with a 1-1 count. Runner on at first and one out here in the bottom of the third.
Here for Ian Beer. You might have gloves or blankets on. We got to be louder than that, Raiders fans.
Danberg will come set for the stretch. He'll deliver the 1-1 pitch. Runner takes off again. The throw to second. It will be a slight tag with the ball just out of the glove of Scheffelbein. It looked like he was probably going to be out. And a stolen base, though, for the runner for De La Pena.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ian Beer. Runner in scoring position.
They did call it a strike, so it is a 1-2 count.
Correction, Ty Villette has courtesy ran for our catcher.
Villette is the one that's running for De La Pena. And now the first man to reach second base here in the ball game for Stevens. So that forces Sunshine to make his way out there and check the signs, what sign they're going to go with. But now runner on at second, and there's one down here in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-2. That one is fouled down the first base line. We'll do it again here at 1-2. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station, on this Friday night as we get past 10 o'clock back in the capital city. Settling in for a nice long Friday night, but it is good that it is a Friday. 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. This will bounce in. Good block there by Sunshine. The count's now 2-2. Ian Beer, the top of the order. It was a RBI fielder's choice in the first. A wild pitch that scored Weston Northrup from running for Sunshine the second. Then a sac fly from second base, a shot to center field, and scoring from second for Dawson Guess with the RBI. This will get just behind Sunshine. It's just to his left, and the runner will get to third. And it's now a runner on at third here with one away, and a 3-2 count here to Beer, who has battled his way in this at-bat, both in the count and physically at the plate. After fouling one off of his foot. 3-2 counts. This will be pitch number 50 here for Danberg. From the windup, he'll deliver the 3-2 pitch. It'll miss for ball 4. And it's first and third now. The tying run will come to the plate with one out here in the bottom of the third. And Coach Rowley will walk his way out. And he'll bring everybody in here. We'll have a courtesy runner for Beer as well. But Coach Rowley now having a conversation with his infield, along with the pitcher Danberg and catcher Sunshine. When the runner is at the corners and one away here in the bottom of the third inning. Just a quick conversation. They'll bring the corners in most likely, keep the middle back, try and get the chance for that double play.
Number 8, Mason Brooks.
Mason Brooks flew out of the center fielder rounds in his first at bat. O'Brien's even at the bag at third. The middle stays back, short and second, trying to get a double play ball. We'll see if that runner takes off from first. Does not on that first pitch and taken for strike 1.
Called strike 1.
Mason Brooks 0 for 1. Did have a hit in game number 1, going 1 for 3. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Runner again not taking off. That one's high, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike. Ground ball somewhere up the middle, or right, well, I guess it'll still be up the middle, but right back to Danberg. Either the short or second can get you out of this inning. Runner now takes off. There's a swing and a miss. A throw to second. It'll be a caught stealing. The runner didn't take off for third. Was able to apply the tag, and Sunshine guns him down at second. And there's now 2 down and a 1-2 count. Scheffelbein ran right past the ball because the runner didn't break from third. Getz caught it, played the tag down, got the runner stealing to second. And 2 away, and a chance now with a 1-2 count. Danberg's looking to get out of this inning. 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball that is fouled down the third base line. And we'll do it again here at 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, that's a big second out. Another good job there by the Governor catchers. Simpson got 2 stealing in game 1. Sunshine's got 1 here in game number 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball to left field. Linebacker, that's going to get over his head and down for extra bases and make it a 3-1 game. All the way out to the wall. Linebacker will pick it up. Rounding second on his way to third. The throw from Getz is going to be off of the runner and just wide of the dugout. And it's going to be an RBI triple for Mason Brooks, and it's now a 3-1 game.
Brings up number 21, Jackson Dial.
So a RBI triple for Brooks. 3-1 our score, and it's Jackson Dial that's got a chance to make this a 1-run game. Dial struck out swinging his first at bat. He is hitting for Will Waddell, the third baseman. What could have been the end of that inning. Obviously, that how big is that second out right now? That caught stealing. It's a 3-2 game with that tying run only 90 feet away with only 1 out. If everything stays the same. So that's a huge play from the Governor catcher, shortstop, and even the second baseman, Scheffelbein, who forced that runner at third to stay put as he was coming in. There's a swing and a miss by Dial again. The count's 0-2 quickly here to the number 3 hitter. Runner on at third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 0-2. Taken for strike 3. No, that just misses upstairs. He had everybody but the batter, Jackson Dial, walking to their dugouts, thinking it was strike 3. Ready to turn the scoreboard away on YouTube. 1-2 pitch, that'll miss outside. The count's now 2-2. So now from 0-2 it's to 2-2. And I mean, everybody on the right side of the field, and including the center fielder and rounds, they were all heading in towards the dugout. 2-2 pitch, there's a swing and a miss, and that will finish off the inning. But a run does score on 2 hits in the inning. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 4th. It is a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
It is the top of the 4th inning in a 3-1 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein scoreboard for this Governor team. And it will be 6, 7, 8. J.J. Buckle, Sudden Sunshine, and Bridger Babcock. Anybody who reaches base, Parker O'Brien will get a chance to hit here in this 4th inning. As the Night is upon us here in Rapid City, with the Govs leading 3-1. They're looking for a doubleheader sweep, looking for the most out of this trip out to Rapid City. They'll head to Harrisburg next week Friday, get to the border battle. They'll play their 4 games at the Sanford Sports Complex, that new sports complex where we had a doubleheader last year against the Jefferson Cavaliers, as the first pitch will miss outside for ball 1. And then they'll get home, take on Aberdeen in the first home game of the season. April 17th. 1-0 count here to J.J. Buckles, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here's the 1-0. That's called a strike, and the count's 1-1. One in a swing did not, and it was a strike anyway. So the count is even at a ball and a strike. Here to J.J. Buckles. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back, and the count's now 1-2. Buckles, who now into his senior year, obviously you will never forget what he did out of the bullpen for the Governors during the high school baseball season, his sophomore year when they won the state championship. Just how dominant he was. There's a swing and a miss, and Buckles will strike out for the second time here in this ball game. There's one down, and to bring up Sun and Shine. 8 strikeouts now for Ian Beer through 3 1/3 inning. Only 2 guys have been retired by non-strikeouts. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. The fielder's choice from Ridge Leinbach. Then the sacrifice fly by Dawson Getz. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be taken for a strike, and the count's 1-1 to Sun and Shine after it missed off the glove of De La Pena. Sun and Shine walked, and his spots came in to score on a wild pitch. Weston Northrup was the one that ran for him. That'll be taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-2 here to Sun and Shine. Bridger Babcock waits on deck. Here's the 1-2. This will be fouled back, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glad you're with us here on this Friday night. Our doubleheader between Pierre and Stevens. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 in a row, going back to last inning. And now it's Bridger Babcock with 2 outs and nobody on. 77 pitches now for Ian Beer. Most likely will get to that 80-pitch plateau before he gets out of this 4th inning. 60 pitches for Will Danberg. Both guys really averaging about 20 pitches per inning. Might be the end of the day for Danberg. Looks like maybe Porter Hunsley might be warming up again. Another lefty that's warming up out in the bullpen, but does have a hoodie on another time. First pitch misses to Bridger Babcock. He is the DH for the pitcher, Danberg. Here's the 1-0. That'll be over for a strike. The count's now 1-1. Which would tell you, too, that they're probably not going to bring in somebody from the field. Although there's still that possibility. That one will miss, and the count's now 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Pretty easy to just keep swapping in the pitcher to allow that lineup to stay the same. Here's a 2-1 to the DH Babcock. There's a swing and a foul that went off the light pole.
On that foul ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just beyond the third base dugout, or right next to the third base dugout, and bounce back towards Parker O'Brien, who was waiting on deck. Here's a 2-2. That'll miss low and away, and the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here to Bridger Babcock. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And it's 3 up and 3 down on 3 strikeouts for Ian Beer, as he has thrown 83 through 4 innings. It is a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It is the bottom of the 4th. 3-1 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard, as it will be 4, 5, and 6 for the Stevens Raiders. Blake Olmstead, Ethan Wilson, and Tegan Smith with the first 3 hitters. Nearby reaches base. Brady Waddell will be the next hitter, as Will Danberg stays on the mound, looking to go through 4 complete. He's got 60 pitches through the first 3 innings. 83 pitches for Ian Beer through 4. Again, both guys are pretty much averaging 20 pitches per inning, which isn't quite what you want to see, but overall hasn't been bad for Will Danberg, and really hasn't been bad for Ian Beer either. But he is on the wrong end of a 3-1 score through 3 innings. So it will be Blake Olmstead, who flew out of the right fielder, and Charlie Simpson in his first at-bat. He'll step to the plate to lead off here in the bottom of the 4th. As Danberg delivers from the windup, that first pitch, and he'll miss low for ball 1. As you get later into this game, those walks, any errors, they become killers. They become a lot more noticeable. That one will miss low, and the count's now 2-0. The last run that scored for Pierre got on base by a leadoff error. And not so much misplayed, miscued, as this one will be grounded down the third base line, but it is foul. The count's now 2-1. And the fly ball out towards center field that was caught near the wall that Rounds tagged up and got to third, and then Coach Rowley sent him home. And they double cut, and that they weren't really ready for Rounds to try and score, and threw him off, thinking that he was no chance that he would try and score from second base. This will be flown out to Simpson again, so it'll be 0 for 2 for Olmstead with 2 flyouts to the right fielder. And there's one down here in the bottom of the 4th, and it brings up now Ethan Wilson. Wilson's 0 for 0 with a strikeout. But again, just, Coach Rowley said that. If you ever listened to anything that Coach Rowley had said over this morning or on our website at kccradio.com, saw the story we posted, and they're going to be an aggressive team. They're going to try and take the extra base, and he said you'll see guys get thrown out at home trying to take that extra base because we're going to be aggressive. Well, whether they got thrown out at home or not, that's what Coach Rowley was talking about. He did exactly what he was talking about they were going to try and do, and this time it paid off. Well, every time? Maybe not, but you're going to catch more teams off guard, something like that, than more often making strong plays all the way across to get, to get the guy out at home. So he obviously was not joking with me when he did that interview, that he was serious and absolutely about it. Here's a line shot right to Rounds that he came in on, and then it kept carrying out to him, and he ended up having to reach up to make the catch, and there's now 2 down. And they'll bring up now Tegan Smith. Smith is 1 for 1. He's singled. He's got 2 hits today. The only guy that can say that, other than Mason Brooks, who also has 2 hits. Those 2 guys have combined for 2 of the 3 hits for the Raiders. As the first pitch will be upstairs for ball 1, but no Governor has had multiple hits. So after Washington beat Sturgis 28-4 in that first game, Spearfish wins the second game 9-3 over the Washington Warriors. So South Dakota games are starting to be played a little bit more between 2 Class A South Dakota teams. Yankton have played a couple games against some Class B teams so far to start the season, but that does not count for the record. There's a pitch on the outside edge, and it's now 1-2. And Tegan Smith didn't like that call, but he's now down the count 1-2, and Danberg trying to make this a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 pitch here from Danberg. This will be fouled out of play. We'll do it again here at 1-2. Due up is 9-1-2 for the Governors. O'Brien, Shufflebine, and Rounds. Eli reaches base. Charlie Simpson will come to the plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's 2-2. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning is Danberg. He retired the side in order in the first. Going to do so here in the fourth. 2-2. And we'll miss outside, and the count's now 3-2. On deck is Brady Waddell. Smith has really had probably the best day for the Stevens Raiders. Been on base 3 of the 4 times he's come to the plate. 3-2 pitch. This will be fought off, fouled out of play on the left side. And this will be pitch number 76 upcoming here for Will Danberg in the bottom of the fourth. And nobody on and 2 away. Danberg gets the sign from the windup, delivers. And a ground ball to the second baseman, gobbled up by Shufflebine. His throw to first will be in time, and it is a 1-2-3 inning for Danberg here in the fourth. Halfway home in game number 2, a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
Will Waddell will take over on the mound for the Stevens Raiders. And it is for Ian Beer, 4 innings of work with 1 hit, 3 runs. Only 1 of those have been earned. 2 walks and 10 strikeouts. He threw 83 pitches on the evening for Ian Beer, 49 of those for strikes. And we'll see exactly where everybody, if there's more changes. Will Waddell was the DH, or was the third baseman, so he was being DH'd for. So I believe as Beer will take over at third, they're going to have Jackson Dial will have to come out of the game. So Beer moves over to third, and Waddell is on the mound. Parker O'Brien will lead things off. We'll see if in the bottom of the fifth inning if it will be another inning for Will Danberg. But for Will Waddell, he will be on the mound for the first time here this season. And Waddell threw 17 2/3 innings last year. He had 3 starts and 7 appearances overall, went 3-0 on the season, 5 hits, 13 runs, 6 of them earned. He had 22 walks and 26 strikeouts, a 2.38 ERA, a 1.53 whip, and a batting average against that 86. So he is very, very good, although the numbers would tell you that I would say he's effectively wild, that he's hard to time up, hard to line up, but he does walk guys. I mean, his whip is at a walk and a hit of 1.5 per inning, and he gave up 5 hits in 17 innings. So that's again the way the stats show it would probably be what his scouting report would say, just by the stats of effectively wild, that he can walk guys, but he can strike you out. I mean, he's averaging over 1 of each per inning. As Parker O'Brien will step in to lead off this top of the 5th inning. Over halfway done now in game number 2, with the Govs leading 3-1. First pitch will come inside, almost hitting O'Brien. And it's 1-0. He's got some good velocity. That's going to be where he can locate each of these pitches for Will Waddell. Here's the 1-0. That will come in and hit O'Brien. And so it'll be a leadoff man on base to kick off the top of the 5th inning. And it's now, here is Carter Scheffelbein. Scheffelbein is 1 for 2. He walked, or he got an infield single to open up the ball game, and then struck out looking in the second. Has not come to the plate since that top of the 2nd inning when he struck out looking to end the second. First pitch will miss inside and will get away from the catcher, and to second base will go O'Brien. And he's bouncing around, almost trying to get halfway to third. And so runner on at second now with nobody out, and it's 1-0 count. Here to Scheffelbein. 10 strikeouts for Ian Beer and 83 pitches in 4 innings. Now Will Waddell takes over and trying to keep this at 3-1 score. Well, the first 3 have missed with a hit batter as well. Here's the 1-0. That'll catch the corner, and the count's now 1-1. Scheffelbein trying to make this a 4-1 lead here for the Govs in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1. That'll catch the bottom of the zone. The count's now 1-2. Now Scheffelbein behind the count. 1-2 pitch. This will be popped up on the right side on the infield. First baseman Brooks will make the call and make the catch.
Range is over.
And there's one down now here in the top of the fifth, and it will bring up Trevor Rounds.
Brings up number 32, Trevor Rounds.
Rounds reached on an air to open up the top of the third, which then he came around to score on the sacrifice fly from Dawson Getz when he tagged up from second and scored all the way from second. He's got an RBI opportunity as well, with O'Brien leading away from second base. Swing and a miss from Rounds on a pitch in the dirt, and the count's 0-1. Stevens Raiders will have 7, 8, and 9 to do up in the bottom of the fifth inning. And we'll see who they will face, if it will be Danberg again or if someone coming for the bullpen for the Govs. That one's over for a strike, and the count's quickly 0-2 here to Rounds. Seen multiple guys warm up. That included Porter Hunsley that warmed up in the first inning of game number 1. In case Linebach couldn't get through it, but he did work his way all the way through, and through 4 innings, got out 4 innings of work. 0-2 pitch taken for strike 3, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the fifth, and it will bring up Charlie Simpson. Second time that Rounds has gone down on strikes. And Charlie Simpson, who is 0 for 1, he walked in the first inning, struck out looking in the third. There's 2 down now with a runner on at second. Here's the first pitch. Simpson with the ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Olmstead. His throw to first is low, and it is dug out by the first baseman Brooks, and that will retire the side here in the top of the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base. We have played 4.5, 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Pottsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the fifth, and there is still a 3-1 lead here for the Pierre Governors over the Stevens Raiders. John Wickler with you on this Friday evening as we continue to get later into the evening. But it will be Will Danberg that stays on the mound with 76 pitches so far in this game. And it will be 7, 8, 9. Brady Waddell, Caden Caporetto, and Morgan De La Pena be the first 3 hitters here in this bottom of the fifth. With the Govs still leading 3-1, scoring a run in each of the first 3 innings. Here's the first pitch inside for ball 1 to Brady Waddell. Will Waddell will hit in the number 3 spot now for Jackson Dial, as that pitch will miss inside as well to Brady Waddell, who is 0 for 1. He grounded out in front of the plate. Sudden Sunshine, the catcher, was able to make that play. A tough play with Danberg coming in. He was going out and able to make the play happen with Sunshine to retire Waddell to close out that second inning. The 2-0 pitch was cut on and missed, and the count is now 2-1 here to Brady Waddell. Here's a 2-1. That's upstairs, and it's now a 3-1 count to the leadoff man in Brady Waddell. Caden Caporetto and Morgan De La Pena, the next couple hitters. 3-1 pitch. That's over for a strike on the corner, and the count's now 3-2. And Waddell will dig back in with a full count. 3-2. This will be popped up. That'll be foul behind us, and remains a full count at 3-2. Again, we'll try and get, if we can, we'll try and get the final coverage of the NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16 games that are taking place. 3-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3, and a great pitch there by Will Danberg to get to Brady Waddell looking. And there is one down now here in the bottom of the 5th. And that is strikeout number 5 for Danberg. We've got halftime of Purdue and Houston at 31-29 for Purdue. Michigan leading Auburn by 3, 48-45. There still is some time left before, so we could maybe still get to some coverage. That'll miss outside for ball 1 by Caden Comparetto. We'll also have women's Elite 8 coverage on Monday on KCCR. Here's the 1-0. This will be fouled out of play on the left side, and the count's now 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strikes to Caden.
He's 0 for 1 as Comparetto. He struck out swinging in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch number 86 from Danberg is taken for strike 2 at the knees, and the count is now 1-2. 1-2 pitch coming here from Danberg to Comparetto. There is strike 3, a swing and a miss. And back-to-back strikeouts now for Danberg. And it brings up Morgan De La Pena with 2 outs and nobody on. We'll see if Danberg can get a second straight 1-2-3 inning. After the RBI triple from Mason Brooks, he has retired 7, make that 6 straight right now, looking for 7 straight. I don't know if they'll let him go all the way to the 105 pitches, as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. He is at 88, so and sometimes it's nice to start a clean inning. You know, depending on where this inning goes, you may just call it a night for Danberg. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-1 because this will be pitch number 90 for Danberg. As Morgan De La Pena, who singled with 1 out in the 3rd inning, came around to score on that RBI triple. Well, his spot came out. That just misses upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. He was courtesy ran for and did score. His spot in the order did score. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That'll be off the hand of De La Pena. That one will make that a runner on at first with 2 outs, and that might be the end of the line for Danberg. Coach Rowie was standing there, was starting to walk out, but I think he'll head back to the third base dugout. So not quite, the end of the line for Danberg. But it is back to the top of the order, and it's now for Ian Beer. And Ian Beer, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. He was caught stealing in that 3rd inning. But that tying run at the plate now here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch swinging, fly ball to center field. Rounds gets underneath it. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We have played 5 completes, a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the sixth, and it is a 3-1 lead. And it will be for the Governors 4, 5, and 6. Dawson Getz, followed by Ridge Leinbach and J.J. Buckles, 3 seniors all in a row for the Govs, trying to extend a 3-1 lead over the Stevens Raiders. Austin Floor is now back in the game as he'll take over for De La Pena, who got hits on the hand. And that could have been a decision that was already going to be made, or hopefully it was more of a decision that was already going to be made and not so much that De La Pena, the hand was hurting too bad after being hit on the hand. But Floor will take over. It is Smith out in left, Wilson in center, Comparetto in right, Beers at third, Olmsted at short, Waddell, that is Brady Waddell at second, Brooks at first, now Floor behind the plates, and it is Will Waddell on the mound for his second inning of work in relief. Will Danberg has thrown 92 pitches. Will they try and let him try and get through 6 completes? He's got 13 pitches to work with. But we'll see as Dawson Getson with a 3-1 lead right now. Why not extend this lead out here in the top of the 6th inning? Govs are looking for 2 big wins, and this Stevens team is going to be a good team. They're going to rack up wins as the season goes along. So 2 wins can go a long way into those power points and put the Governors higher in the standings at the end of the year. Got at least one of them right now. First pitch is over for strike 1. Here to Dawson Getz. And for Dawson Getz, he is 0 for 0 so far. He hit by a pitch in his first trip to the plate, and then that sac fly RBI. This will be grounded off the pitcher over to the third baseman. Is barehanded by Beer, and Getz will reach with an infield single, but that does not feel good for Will Waddell. And they will attend to Waddell, who is trying to walk it off right now. But, again, that's not going to feel good if it's 90 degrees outside, but it's certainly not going to feel good when it's under 45 degrees now. But it is a infield single for Dawson Getz. So that is his second hit tonight. After having an RBI double. He's got 2 RBIs tonight, now 2 hits as they continue to see if Will Waddell is okay. They have had some different guys warming up in the bullpen, so more guys are probably closer to being hot and ready to go if they need to. As Waddell throws 1 warm-up toss and seems that he is just fine. And I know he's only thrown 12 pitches, but he probably doesn't want to use too many bullets. So Ridge Leinbach will now come to the plate with a runner on at first. And nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Leadoff single for Getz. Hard hit ball up the middle that bounced off of Will Waddell. Ends up being an infield single, and now it's Ridge Leinbach. First pitch swinging, and he swings and misses for strike 1. Leinbach grounded to a fielder's choice, got an RBI that made it a 1-0 lead. Then he struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1. That one's fouled off the mask. I'm not sure if that went off the mask of the catcher or if it maybe bounced ricocheted off of everybody's mask, the home plate umpire as well. But the count's now 0-2. Here to Leimbach. J.J. Buckles and Sun and Shine waiting on the next two batters. Here is the 0-2 pitch to Leimbach. That is upstairs, and the count's now 1-2.
Misses high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Here at the top of the sixth, 3-1 lead for the Governors. Just their second hits after the leadoff single to open up the ball game. That was the first time they got a base hit. There's a swing and a miss by Leimbach, and there's now one down. Leimbach goes down on strikes.
That's going to bring up number 23, JJ.
For the second time here in the ball game, and J.J. Buckles, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, will come to the plate. Getz leads away from first. Here's first pitch to Buckles. Swinging a ground ball to the second baseman. He will field the throw to second for 1, and then it was bobbled in the glove in the hand of the shortstop at Olmsted. So it turns into a fielder's choice, and there's now 2 down. And the Govs stay alive for at least another at-bat. What could have been a 6-4-3 double play turns into the fielder's choice, and Sun and Shine will still get a chance to hit here at the top of the 6th inning. And a good start there by Brady Waddell, and Olmsted caught it, obviously caught it cleanly, and then was trying to transfer it into the hand. He never dropped it, but he bobbled it and never got a chance to try and fire at Buckles at first. Swinging a foul by Sun and Shine, the first pitch. And the count's 0-1. He is 0 for 1. He walked in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth. Weston Northrup ran for him and ended up finding his way into scoring on a wild pitch. There's a strike taken. The count's now 0-2.
Strike 2. Ball gets away from the catcher, but runner stays at first. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, somebody hitting for Bridger Babcock, his spot is due up next. But can't tell, can't even see the number of who it might be that we come into the plate. But here's the now 0-2 pitch. It'll be missing upstairs, and the count's now 1-2. Say it might be George Stalley that's grabbed a bat on the on-deck circle. Get a chance to maybe swing, and it might be going to take one swing and get to first base and have somebody pinch run for me. That will be outside, and the count's now 2-2. The activity kind of slowed down in that Governor bullpen. So maybe Will Danberg will be out for the start of the bottom of the 6th inning. He's got 13 pitches to work with before he'd have to be removed. 2-2. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 3-2, and that'll get a head start now here for J.J. Buckles over at first base. 3-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Buckles will take his lead off at first. He'll be off with the pitch. He'll come set. Will Waddell will deliver the 3-2. That'll be upstairs for ball 4. And it's now first and second.
Brings up number 15, Bridger Babcock.
And so now we've got a pinch hitter. We'll have a courtesy runner as well for Sun and Shine.
Number 1, Porter.
And Porter Hunsley is the one that will be hitting for Bridger Babcock. And he might be the guy that comes in relief of Will Danberg. So now here is Hunsley, his first at-bat of his high school career, and the first pitch is taken for strike one. He's got an RBI opportunity, first and second with 2 away. Right-handed hitter digs in, the freshman. And his first at-bat in a big spot. There's a swing and a foul back. And the count's now 0-2. And a big role in that Governor football team this year did Porter Hunsley. Part of the Governor wrestling team as well, and making a big step into the Pierre Governor High School athletics in his first year as a freshman. First pitch of the 0-2 pitch will miss inside. The count's now 1-2. Got a lot of upside, and we'll be hearing his name quite a bit over the next couple of years in a lot of different sports. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll be taken for strike 3, and that will retire the side. And that will take us to the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
As we welcome you back, it is a 3-1 lead here for the Pierre Governors over the Stevens Raiders, as the day will end for Will Danberg, but a strong performance for Will Danberg. And it will be now Brendan McCullough that will be on the mound. The lefty will get his first chance to pitch for this Governor team. We'll get you the full totals here for Will Danberg in a second, but McCullough will throw, and we'll be looking for an opportunity to get the final 6 outs of this game. Will Danberg goes 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, and 92 pitches, 55 of those for strikes. So Brendan McCullough will be the pitcher. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. Mason Brooks. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. Start off this bottom of the 6th inning. Will still be Jackson Dial that will hit for Waddell. As the pitch will miss, and it's now 2-0. So the thing, too, is that for high school baseball, those DHs can stay in the spot for a long time. Here's a ground ball to the left side. That'll be booted by Getz, and there's going to be no play. So slow roller to Getz, and it will end up being the first error tonight by the first error by the Governors here this evening.
Number 28,
and
Nolan
Williamson will actually be hitting for Jackson Dial. So Nolan Williamson, after Dial went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Runner on at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if any bunt is on. First pitch will miss upstairs for ball 1. Not showing bunt that time was Williamson. Did not have an at-bat last season, did Williamson, and he only pitched in game number 1, so this is his first varsity at-bat, as that one's taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Like to see another ground ball back towards Dawson Getz, who probably not going to make that same mistake twice. There's a pick, the throw back to first, and swiping the tag over at first is Buckholz. But I believe he might have missed the runner at first base. And the count is now 2-1. So Mason Brooks, who led off reaching on air, is now 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI triple. That one is fouled back. And the count's now 2-2. Blake Olmstead, this is 2, 3, and 4 to start this 6th inning. Two. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 3-2.
Counts now full to Williamson.
And Williamson looking to get on base. He represents the tying run right now here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 pitch. That'll be just missing for ball 4. And it's now first and second here with nobody out, and Blake Olmstead to the plate. And time will be called, and Coach Rowley will make his way out, have a conversation, I believe, with the entire infield again. And McCullough, who got that first ground ball, it could be different. Maybe a runner at first with 1 out, or different how that batter might be with nobody on and 1 out, but can't change any of that now. It's first and second here with nobody out, and they got to find a way to get out. Tying run is on base, and the cleanup man in Olmstead, who has flown out of the right fielder twice. Be okay with another fly out to right field, as long as it's a can of corn for Charlie Simpson.
In the batter for the Raiders with runners at first and second, Blake Olmstead.
Olmstead 0 for 2 as he digs in. A big spot here now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the first pitch from the lefty. That'll miss upstairs for ball 1. The Govs will have 9-1-2 in the top of the 7th. They'll be looking to try and add on to their lead. They don't want to try and make a comeback or try and retake the lead by any means. Here's a ground ball over to third baseman. That is just foul. And the count is now 1-1. That would have been another couple inches to the right and over towards the glove side of O'Brien. That he could have been able to field that right over the top of the bag. Potentially start a double play of either 5-4 double play or a 5-3 double play, which could have changed the complexity of this inning by a lot. Here's the 1-1 showing bunt, and bunting it foul did Olmstead, and it's now 1-2. Trying to maybe catch the Governors, I wouldn't say sleeping, but just expecting him not to bunt in that spot. But with nobody out, runners at first and second, you sacrifice over and you think, oh, then you get 2 guys in scoring position with only 1 out and a chance to try and tie the game up. But it says now 1-2 count. McCullough will step off and run through the signs again here from Sun and Shine. First and second here with nobody out. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball softly hits. Getz will field. Flips to second for 1. Shuffle by into first is going to be not in time. It was dug out, though, by Buckholz with a big.
Reaches safely on the fielder's choice. Now the Raiders have got runners at the corner.
Let's see here. The umpire, is he out at second? He's out at first as well. I'm not sure what the call is going to be. If they was a runner interference, from the throw to second, but it turns into a double play. And so there's 2 down, and that's a big first and second out there. So it's now Ethan Wilson. So turns into, this would be written down as a 6-4-3 double play with runner's interference, but either way, it's still 2 down. And Ethan Wilson at the play of the 1-0 count. It was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center. That one to be flown out towards left field. Rich Leinbach right there, barely had to move for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So after the first 2 reach base, there were no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 7th, a 3-1 lead for Pierre over Stevens. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
YAG Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. YAG Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. YAG Air for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
It is the top of the 7th. Nolan Williamson is back on the mound for the Stevens Raiders. And it will be 9-1-2. Parker O'Brien, Carter Schuffelbein, and Trevor Rounds, the first 3 hitters. And see if the Govs can add on to their 3-1 lead. You are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. We appreciate you hanging in with us here this evening as we've hit the 11 o'clock hour back in the capital city. 10 o'clock here locally. Jen Brazilius putting in some overtime as well here for us with the late nights at the radio station back at the KCCR studios. It is a 3-1 advantage. All 3 runs, 1 in each of the first 3 innings. Stevens scored their run in the bottom of the 3rd. It was a RBI fielder's choice for Rich Leinbach, a wild pitch that scored the 2nd run, then an RBI sac fly from Dawson Getz in the 3rd to make it a 3-0 lead at the time. And then the 1 run that scored an RBI triple from Mason Brooks. And to make it a 3-1 game at the time, that's all we've had. The first 3 innings, we had the four runs. The last 3 innings, been nothing on the scoreboard. Only 2 hits for the Govs, but only 3 hits for the Stevens Raiders. The offense, well, it's a little cold to start the season. We've had a combined, would that be now, 12 hits between the 2 games. 6 hits for the Govs and 6 hits for the Stevens Raiders. Yet the Govs have had 9 runs. There's a swing and a foul by O'Brien. That one just barely ends up foul.
Number off the end of the bat ends up foul.
Will Wandell, he ends up going those 2 innings of work. We'll get you the full totals here in just a moment. As the 0-1 pitch to O'Brien will be on the outside corner for a strike in the off-speed pitch, and the count's now 0-2. O'Brien is 0 for 1 in this game, struck out swinging in the 2nd and was hit by a pitch. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, and there's 1 down here to open up the top of the 7th inning. Will Wandell, 2 innings of work. Gave up just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. 14 strikeouts on the pitching staff now for the Stevens Raiders, after also getting 13 strikeouts in Game 1 of the Governors. That first pitch will miss for ball 1. So while Pierre has got a 3-1 lead, and obviously they still got to close on that in the 7th inning, It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Raiders, regardless if it's a 2-run game or better for the Govs going in the bottom of the 7th. Too many strikeouts in this first doubleheader. This will be fouled out of play, and the count's 1-1 here to Carter Shufflebine, who is 1 for 3. Now, on the flip side, end up being 7 strikeouts pitching staff-wise in game 1, and right now 6 strikeouts as he counts 1 and 2 here to Shufflebine. So not a bad job by the pitching staff so far. Just 1 walk for Will Danberg. Dawson Getz didn't allow a walk in his relief appearance, and after that, the 5 walks in the first inning, the Govs have been good not allowing those free bases. There's a pop up to the right side. Shufflebine will pop out to his counterpart, the second baseman, Brady Waddell. And there's now 2 down here in the top of the 7th. And it brings up the number 2 hitter, Trevor Rounds, as Williamson looking for a 1-2-3 inning to try and send this to the bottom of the 7th and giving the Raiders a chance down by just 2. See if the Govs have a 2-out rally here in the top of the 7th. First pitch here from Williamson. That'll catch the outside corner for a strike. The count's 0-1. Rounds is 0 for 3. Struck out twice. He didn't reach on air to open up the 3rd inning. That did score, and he did score on the sacrifice fly from second base. There's a check swing. They're going to appeal, and the no swing, says our first base umpire. And the count is now 1-1 here to Trevor Rounds. One from Williamson. Is fouled back, and the count's now 1-2. Just 1 earned run for Ian Beer in his 4 innings of work, but he gave up 3 runs in the process. The 1-2 pitch. There's a check swing there by Rounds, and the count's now 2-2. Obviously, with Danberg giving up that 1 earned run, we could be looking at a different ball game if everything had been, if no unearned runs across the plate. Counts now 3-2. Three-two count with 2 outs here and nobody on the top of the 7th. Pierre holding on to a 3-1 lead. Here is the 3-2 pitch. That'll miss outside for ball 4, so we'll continue the top of the 7th. And Charlie Simpson will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He walked in the first, struck out looking in the 3rd, and ground out at the shortstop in Olmsted in the 5th. Again, it's Tegan Smith, Brady Waddell, and Caden Comparetto, the first three hitters for the Stevens Raiders. There's a swing and a chopper foul off the plate after Trevor Rounds took off with the pitch. And the count's 0-1. Williamson will come set from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. That'll be taken for a strike. It was off the catcher's glove. The throw to second, and Rounds is able to take the bag. It's a big, that's a big job there by Rounds to get into second base. Now more as a steal than a pass ball. It never got it past the catcher in floor. There's an 0-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, but Rounds is at second, so a base hit from Simpson could score him as he'll be off with contact, and that could be a big insurance run. Here's the 0-2. Couple checks by Williamson. He'll deliver the 0-2, and that one will break just above the strike zone and cross the plate above the strike zone, but a good breaking ball there from Williamson, and the count's now 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Reaching for it. Slow roller, fielded by the third baseman, Beer. The throw to first is going to be wide and is going to get past the first baseman over to the right side all the way towards the fence. And Rounds will come in to score to make it a 4-1 game. And another air charge to the Stevens Raiders. And it's now a 3-run lead here at the top of the 7th. Simpson won't get the RBI. It'll be an air charge to Beer. But that's a big run for the Govs to now lead it by 3. And Dawson gets to the plate. He's picked up 2 RBIs in total today. RBI double in the game number 1, RBI sac fly here in game 2. And he's still got another RBI opportunity. He can try and get 3 here today and make it a 4-run lead going in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch missed outside for ball 1 to Getz. Williamson will come set from the stretch and deliver the 1-0 pitch. That'll be at the knees for a strike. The count's 1-1. Getz is 1 for 1 in this game. Hit by a pitch in the first, the sac fly RBI in the third, and a base hit to lead off the top of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-1. That's off the glove, called strike, and over to third will be Simpson after Floor can't handle the catch. And that'll be a pass ball that will allow that runner to get to third base. And Getz now any kind of base hit, any way to reach base with the ball in play will most likely score the runner at third. And Charlie Simpson. 1-2 pitch. Getz is able to fight it off.
Williamson throws the spicy sausage and gets fouled off. We'll see.
And the count remains at 1-2. Rich Leinbach waiting on deck. Govs have extended this lead out to 3. That one will miss just upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. They'll try and shut the door in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Getz will go down on strikes. And that will retire the side here in the 7th. But a run does score without a hit in the inning. There was an error and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Pierre leads at 4-1 over Stevens. 3 outs away from a doubleheader sweep. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Beck Motor Company is proud to sponsor the Pierre Governors baseball team this season. Just like the Governors, we believe in hard work, dedication, and striving for excellence every day. As these young athletes give it their all on the field, Beck Motor Company is here to deliver top-quality Chevy and Cadillac vehicles and unbeatable service. We're committed to supporting our community, and there's no better way to show that than backing our hometown team. Visit Beck Motor Company today and find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. www.beck-motors.com. 605-224-5912. Go Govs!
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the 7th post Pierre Governors, not post 8, but Pierre Governors. They lead it 4-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. As Brennan McCullough will try and finish off the final 6 outs and pick up the win for the Govs to start the season at 2-0. It is Tegan Smith who is doubled in game 1. He singled. He's 1 for 2 here in game number 2. And a lefty versus lefty matchup to open up in this bottom of the 7th inning. 3-run cushion right now for the Govs. First pitch will be missing for ball 1. Tegan Smith, Brady Waddell, and Caden Comparetto. Here's the 1-0. That one is fouled off of Tegan Smith, and the count's now 1-1. And next Friday, coverage will start at 4:45 for a 5 o'clock first pitch out in Harrisburg. Here's the 1-1. That one's grunted softly right back to McCullough. He will step and throw, and there's a leadoff man retired to open up the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Govs are 2 outs away from picking up a 2-0 start. Ben Thompson now will hit. And this will be Thompson, who hit 242 last spring. Gets his first chance to hit. First pitch is missing for ball 1. He was hitting for Brady Waddell. That pitch will miss as well, and the count's now 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-1. Been a while since Pierre started out 2-0. They didn't obviously win the first 4 or 5 games. First 5 games they lost in the 2023 season before rattling off those 14 wins, 15 wins in a row to win the state championship. They lost the opener last year to the Stevens team out west. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That one will miss for ball 4, and there is a 1-out walk.
Number 6, Ty Vallette.
And Ty Vallette will hit for Caporetto. Austin Floor, who got a hit in the first game, would be the next guy on deck. Runner on at first with 1 out. Ground ball and get you out of this ball game. First pitch is over for strike 1 from McCullough. Vallette in game number 1 went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 1 swinging, 1 looking. Pickoff attempt and no tag applied by Buchholz. 3-run game. You go right after the hitter right now. Runner on first doesn't mean too much. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. McCullough will be looking for a strikeout, try and make this, get the second out, and put Stevens down in their final out tonight. Here's the 0-2. That one taken for strike 3, and there's now 2 down. And a big strike on the curveball from McCullough, and there's 2 away. And Austin Floor will have his first at-bats here in game number 2. Floor got an RBI single in his lone at-bat in game 1. Here's the first pitch. A miss outside for ball 1. We'll have a quick post-game show. We'll try and catch the tail end of the Houston-Purdue game for you. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be taken for a strike, and the count's now 1-1.
Count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Auburn got the win over Michigan, but it's Purdue and Houston that still have just about 8 minutes left to go in that basketball game. We'll make sure we wrap it up before we take you out there. Here is a ground ball that is foul, and the Governors 1 strike away from a doubleheader sweep of the Stevens Raiders. A team that went to the state tournament last year. They graduate some, but there's quite a few. There's a lot of guys back from last year's team that went to the state tournament. Time is called at the plate. So this is a good start for Pierre if they can finish off this get this last out and get the doubleheader sweep. 1-2 pitch. That'll miss outside. The count's now 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. To Floor.
And we'll see you then next week against a really tough Harrisburg Tiger squad Got a lot of power, as they always do. 2-2 pitch. That will miss low, and the count's now full at 3-2. Be a head start for the runner on at first. However, where Thompson is there, his run does not mean anything. Again, time is called. Trying to get to the top of the order, Ian Pierre is waiting on deck. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Runner takes off. That'll be taken for strike three, and that will retire the side and end the ball game. And the Governors win both games. They win 4-1 in game number 2 after winning 6-4 in game 1. We'll come back and wrap up the day. It is a Governor sweep. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Back in 2 minutes.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
It is a doubleheader sweep for the Pierre Governors over the Stevens Raiders as we welcome you back in. John Winkler here on this Friday night, as it was a one run in each of the first 3 innings for the Governors. It was an RBI fielder's choice for Ridge Lineback, a wild pitch that scored Weston Northrup in Sutton Sunshine spot as he was courtesy running for him. Then an RBI sac fly from Dawson Getz that made it 3-0. An RBI triple from Mason Brooks in the bottom of the third made it 3-1. That was where our score stood until the 7th inning, when it was another wild pitch that scored another run. Trevor Rounds came in, actually another error, that 2-out error that allowed Trevor Rounds to score to make it a 4-1 lead and a 4-1 win. Will Danberg will pick up the win. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 92 pitches for Danberg. And Brendan McCullough comes in for the final 2 innings, does not allow a hit. Gives up 2 walks, 2 strikeouts on 32 pitches. That is a save, and he will get the save for the Govs in Game 2 of the season. They go to 2-0. Time of the ball game was 2 hours and 21 minutes, so a good grand total of 4 hours and 52 minutes of baseball to be played on our opening day doubleheader. But the Govs pick up 2 big wins. They win 6-4 in game number 1, and then 4-1 in game number 2, beating the Stevens Raiders, who were a state tournament team last year. That'll wrap things up for us here from the chilly McKeague Field. We'll get you out to coverage in the closing ending of game of that Houston-Purdue contest. As we want to say thanks to Jen Brasilius back at the station. John McLeod here signing off. A Pierre Governor doubleheader sweep, 6-4 and 4-1 over the Stevens Raiders, as we say good nights from McKeague Field.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Governor Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Chemlawn, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Doors, Todd's Electric, James Pharmacy, Yay Gare, AGE, First Fidelity, State Farm Insurance Becky Ponsaba Agency, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Owyhee Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Agtegra, Ferding Electric, Envirotech, Kruger Climate Systems, Stalkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motor Company, May Adams, American Family Insurance, Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre. Join us all season for Governor Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting.